wanted to be a part of this research, it was very significant that each one of them stated, because I don't have a breast. They did not feel like they had a way into the baby. The father's desire to relieve the infant's stress, they responded to the touch. The infant responded to their touch, as well as they adjusted their touch in order to make their baby happier and to help their baby enjoy the experience. They adjusted the body part, the time of day, and again, the father got one-on-one time with the baby. So there were two motivations there. Perceived benefits. The fathers reported that they benefited. One father even said, and there's research to support this on infant massage, but one father said, I kept noticing I was getting more relaxed the more I massaged my baby. And then the baby receives the massage and the baby benefits from the massage. And so it's circular, increasing and reinforcing those behavior patterns. This is the matrix of the finding and the sources for the data. I, of course, over to your right, stands for the interview, O stands for the observation, and D stands for the document, which was the diary and or also the interview responses. There was a section in there where they could put in, under the diary, there was a section in there where they could actually put other comments that they wanted to make in addition to recording what we had asked them to record. So here are the findings. Awareness, emotion, engagement, motivation, opportunity, and relationship are the 6 constructs of attachment theory. They reported enjoying it and as well as contributing to their infant's well-being. They identified emotions both in themselves and their infants after massaging their infants. They demonstrated engagement cues being eye contact, communication with the baby, adjusting, so on and so forth. Motivation, fathers reported motivation to both massage and spend time with their infants to relieve the caregiving of the mother. They valued the opportunity to spend time with their infants. They expressed approval and acceptance of their infants after massaging them. Finding 7, sensitivity. They demonstrated sensitivity to their infant's emotional and physical need by responding to their infant's cues and either adjusting the time of day, adjusting the pressure, adjusting what body parts. And then the benefits. Fathers reported benefits of relieving the infant's stress. They said that and this comes into the next one, they felt more confident and confidence in their skills and their ability to interact with their babies. One father, quote unquote, said, I now have a toolbox. I have something I can do to help my baby. They liked being able to feel like they could fix something. Perceived benefits, bonding, competency, contribution and calming, de-stressing and communication, both verbal and nonverbal, enjoyment and relaxing. They enjoyed that the baby was relaxed. They enjoyed that they were relaxing. They felt like it was a great one-on-one time, and there was even playfulness within the time period in which they massaged their baby. And then, of course, the relationship and their sensitivity to the baby. And this basically is how I sell infant massage. A lot of times when I'm talking to the public, they're not as crazy about hearing the research. I'll just say, would you like more sleep? And then I'll ask them, how well do you sleep after a massage? And that's usually the clincher there. This is the attachment concepts and assumptions. The awareness, emotive, engagement, motivation, opportunity, relationship, sensitivity, learning, and insight. And each one of those assumptions were met through the data, as I've already gone through those. The implications for future research and implications to practice for professionals, implications for practice for fathers, and contributions to the literature. These are actually 4 areas that I'm working on articles for submission. And implications for future research. There needs to be a longitudinal study, and to determine whether or not fathers who originally learned to massage their baby will continue this on. You can actually massage children until they tell you they don't want you to massage them anymore. What impact there was on the father-child dyad during the early years. What were the mother's perceptions about the time the father spent with the infant and their behaviors after the study. This one's particularly important because, I see there's questions coming up. Just let me finish this thought. Because there was originally a study that showed that when mothers who reported postpartum depression symptoms either massaged their babies and here's the caveat, watched their baby being massaged by other professionals, that they reported less symptoms of postpartum depression. So a study particularly having fathers massage the baby and allowing the mother to watch would be an interesting study to determine if that helps lower her reports of postpartum depression. Somebody's asking, let's see, any essential oil? Let's see, lavender, chamomile, lavender. When I teach the class, I ask parents to bring their own, and I suggest either vegetable oil or coconut oil, but I also have them do a sensitivity test on the inside of the wrist where the skin is the thinnest to determine if there's any kind of sensitivity. You'll get red and swell there if there's some sort of sensitivity. You never want to have a baby have a complete allergic reaction to the oil, and especially when they're younger, it's generally a good idea to stick to something that's pretty generic, and so that's my personal recommendation. I know a lot of people that do things differently. If the parent chooses to bring an oil that they've already used on their baby and they know that works, that's fine. I don't provide that oil just because I would not, if somebody's saying here, never put an essential straight onto the skin, I just would not use essential oils straight on a baby because they're so small that it's hard to determine whether or not their toxicity levels would be high. So, okay, so then the next slide is replication of past studies to determine outcomes for fathers' contributions. Any of the studies that have already been done, I mean, premature babies actually leave the NICU 6 weeks, as much as 6 weeks earlier than babies that have not been massaged. Each one of those studies that were listed in the critical review could be done again, only this time with fathers. The two research articles that were done, one of them came out of Australia and one of them was I was trying to remember, my mind's gone blank, I can't remember, Tiffany Fields and I think it was Dr. Hernandez did one on fathers, and both of them indicated that not only did fathers express more emotionally, that although they didn't spend more quantity of time with the baby, they spent more quality of time with the baby, and that babies themselves would actively try to engage the father. So for instance, if father had been out of the house and he came back in and the baby was on the floor or somewhere, near the front door, and dad would walk through, that they would try to elicit eye contact with the father. So they became more proactive in the engagement process with the father. What those studies did not have, and the reason this study was so important, was that there was not a framework of a theory in order to substantiate the bonding and attachment. As a matter of fact, there was only one article that took a look at father attachment and bonding. It was a longitudinal study done by two researchers who were married, and they used the Ainsworth Stranger Anxiety Test. And when I reviewed it at first, I kind of agreed with them and thought, well, maybe fathers don't attach. And then it hit me that that particular test was done on mothers and babies. And of course, mom has carried the baby for 9 months. And the dad would not have had that optimal bonding time necessarily. They hadn't screened for that to determine whether or not fathers were present at the birth. And it was also done with fathers with older children. So I think that the testing instrument itself was inappropriate to make that determination, which is exciting news. So in looking in the future, another study that could be done is both with mom and father learning how to, excuse me, attach to the baby. And that would be to use the Ainsworth Stranger Anxiety Test. And when I reviewed it at first, I kind of agreed with them and thought, well, maybe fathers don't attach. And then it hit me that that particular test was done on mothers and babies. And of course, mom has carried the baby for 9 months. And the dad would not have had that optimal bonding time necessarily. They had screened for that to determine whether or not fathers were present at the birth. And it was also done with fathers with older children. So I think that the testing instrument itself was inappropriate to make that determination, which is exciting news. So in looking in the future, another study that could be done is both with mom and father learning how to attach massage the baby, and taking a look at the family as an ecological unit rather than just a parent-child dyad in separate. Non-resident fathers are less involved than resident fathers and had the same attitudes of commitment to fathering as fathers who were resident fathers. However, they reported feeling lower feelings of competence and satisfaction. Competency and competence are two dynamics in the research literature for any parenting programs, and if you can look and see the, I was trying to think of the name of the, oh, it's escaped my mind, it's, I keep wanting to say Cameron, but that's not, Campbell studies, in which it's like the highest level of critical review analysis, including all the data analysis, and in those parenting critical reviews, competency and competence are two of the determining factors of parents staying involved over the long term.
Mary Kay, can I just pop in here and say that we're getting quite close to the time we need to wrap up?
Yes, thank you. I think we're almost done here. Implications for practice for professionals.